Hello children, good morning to all of you. Welcome back in physics class, and today we are going to start a new chapter, heat and energy. Children, in this session the syllabus has been reduced. So what are the topics that we are going to study in this chapter? I have written here for you. The topics which have been removed, I have not written. The topics which we have to study, I have written here. See, this is the reduced syllabus for this chapter. Concept of heat and temperature and its SI unit of heat and temperature. Then you have to study anomalous expansion. Then graphs showing variation of volume and density of water with temperature in the 0 degree Celsius to 10 degree Celsius range. And then Hope's experiment. We will study what was the experiment done by Hope. Now, consequences of anomalous expansion, global warming and greenhouse effect. So children, these are the topics which we are going to study in this chapter. Now see. So first topic that we are going to start is concept of heat. Concept of heat. Heat as energy. Children, actually we have some experience of heat because we have studied that heat is a form of energy, so that we will see by some examples. See here, what is our common experience regarding heat? See children, if we rub our hand, suppose when we rubs our hand, we feel that our hands becomes hot. Our hands become hot. It means by rubbing heat energy is produced. Here you can say that by doing work, because when we rub our hand, we do some work. By doing work, heat is produced. That means from mechanical energy. In this case, from mechanical energy, heat energy is produced. Take one more example. See the example of room heater. During winter season, we use room heaters. Room heaters also give us heat energy. In this case, the electrical energy produces heat. Okay, and similarly when something burns, like with bonfire or when burning coal or wood, also produces heat to us. In this case, chemical energy is transformed to heat energy. So from these examples, you can say that heat is a form of energy. Heat is a form of energy, and this is a definition of heat energy also. Heat is a form of energy is also a definition of heat. Now we will see some more concept. Children, we know that all the objects are made up of molecules, either it is solid or liquid or gas, and we also know that molecules have kinetic energy. We know that every object is made up of molecules, and molecules have kinetic energy. Molecules have kinetic energy due to their random motion, and molecules are attracting each other also, due to which they have potential energy also. Every object has kinetic energy and potential energy both. and the sum of internal kinetic energy and potential energy is the total internal energy of any object. Total internal energy. Children, now you have to note this point. Total internal energy of any molecule is the heat energy of that object. Yes, children, this is the noted point for you. What is the heat? Is the internal energy of molecules of the object. This is a new definition of heat for you. One definition is this: heat is a form of energy, and another definition is the heat is the internal energy of molecules of the body. Okay, and children, heat always flows from hot body to cold body. If a hot body is attached with a cold body, then after some time we will feel that the hot body has become less hot and cold body has become less cold. It means heat flows from hot body to cold body. The heat flows from hot body to cold body. Okay, now after heat we will see the units of heat. What we are going to see? Units of heat. So children, as we are watching that heat is a form of energy, so the SI unit of heat is joule. Okay, because joule is the unit of energy and heat is a form of energy, means heat is also energy, so unit of heat will also be joule, which is denoted by capital J. Okay. And in Cesius system, its unit is Earth. What is the unit in Cesius system? Unit is Earth. And children, you have to learn that 1 joule is equal to 10 to the power 7 Earth. Okay. There are some other units also. One unit is calorie. 1 calorie is equal to 4.186 joule, or approximately you can say 4.2 joule. These are the smaller units of heat. The larger unit of heat is kilocalorie. Kilocalorie. And 1 kilocalorie is equal to 4.18 into 10 to the power 3 joule, or simply you can say approximately 4.2 into 10 to the power 3 joules. Okay, these are the units of heat. Now we are going to study concept of temperature. What we are going to study? Concept of temperature. Now we are going to study concept of temperature. Children, we have practically experienced that heat flows from hot object to cold object. In this case, temperature helps us. Actually, temperature tells us the flow of the direction of flow of heat. You can say that temperature tells or determines the direction of flow of heat energy. It means temperature is a quantity. Temperature is a quantity of hotness or coldness. That means it tells us the thermal condition of an object. So you can define the temperature in this way. Definition of temperature is temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of the body. Okay. Otherwise, in other statement you can say that temperature is a quantity which tells us the thermal state of the body. Temperature is a quantity which tells the hotness or coldness degree of the body, or how much cold it is, how much hot it is. That is found by temperature. And unit of temperature is so children, the SI unit is Kelvin. Okay. Now we will see some more units of temperature. See this one. Some more units of temperature. I hope you know degrees Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. Other than Kelvin, two more units are there, degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. Now we will see what is the relation between these. So suppose Kelvin temperature is T. So T Kelvin is equal to 273 plus degree Celsius. It means if we have to convert Celsius into Kelvin, then 273 will be added. And if we have to convert Kelvin into Celsius, then 273 will be subtracted. And the second is Celsius upon 5 is equal to F minus 32 upon 9. This is the relation between Celsius and Fahrenheit scale, and this is the relation between Kelvin scale and Celsius scale. With the help of these, one kind of temperature is converted into another type of temperature. Okay, I hope everybody knows that ice point. Do you know what is the ice point? The temperature at which water becomes ice. On Celsius scale, it is 0 degree Celsius. On Fahrenheit scale, it is 32 degree Fahrenheit. And on Kelvin scale, it is 273 Kelvin. This is the ice point. And steam point is What is the meaning of steam point? The temperature at which water is converted into steam. On Celsius scale, it is 100 degrees Celsius. On Fahrenheit scale, it is 202 degree Fahrenheit, and on Kelvin scale, it is 373 Kelvin. Okay, children, you can see that on the Celsius scale there are 100 divisions from 0 to 100. Similarly, on the Kelvin scale there are 100 divisions from 273 to 373. But on the Fahrenheit scale there are 180 divisions, 32 to 212. It means Fahrenheit scale can measure more accurate temperature than Celsius scale and Kelvin scale. Okay, now we are going to study thermal expansion. Actually, we have to study anomalous expansion, but to understand it, first we will learn thermal expansion. Actually, children, this is the property of every object. If object is heated, then it will expand. If the object is given heat energy, if you give heat energy to any object, then object will expand, and that is called the thermal expansion. Understood? That means the expansion of any substance, the expansion of any substance on heating is called thermal expansion of that substance. Okay, on heating every object expands, and that is called the thermal expansion. Children, thermal expansions are of their three types. If the expansion is in length only, that will be called the linear expansion. Second is called the superficial expansion. If the thermal expansion takes place in area, suppose you are taking a sheet of metal which has a length and breadth, and thickness is negligible comparing to the length and breadth, then that type of expansion will be called superficial expansion. Are you clearing about these or not? Though these are not in your syllabus, but since we are going to study expansion, anomalous expansion, that is why these things I am telling you in short, in very short. Thermal expansion means expansion on heating. On heating, if there is expansion, that will be called thermal expansion. And these are of three types. First is the linear expansion. On heating, if the length of the object is increased, then that will be called linear expansion. Superficial expansion means expansion in area. And the third is cubical expansion. Cubical expansion means volume expansion. Okay, any solid object having length, breadth and height will expand on heating, and then length, breadth, height all will increase. Then that type of expansion will be called cubical expansion. Now we can start anomalous expansion. See children, there are some substances which on heating, if heat energy is given to them, first they contract. For a certain range they contract, and then after, if more heat is given, then they will start expanding. The expansion will start after a certain range of temperature. So the anomalous expansion. The anomalous expansion of a substance on cooling in a certain range of a temperature is called anomalous expansion. Understood? On a certain range, if object is cooled, then it will expand. Normally we know that if heat is given to any object, then it will expand. But there are some substances which have some other property. Just like here, water between 0 to 4 degrees centigrade. If heat energy is given to between these, then it will contract. If temperature of water is increased from 0 to 4, then water will contract. And if temperature will become more than 4, then it will start expanding. Okay. Now, silver iodide also, between 80 degree to 141 degree, it will contract if it is heated. And if it is cooled, then it will expand. That means if temperature is increased from 80 to 90, 90 to 100, 100 to 110, then it will contract. And if temperature is decreased, then it will expand. Understood? That is why I have written here. Contract on heating and expand on cooling. So this type of behavior is called anomalous expansion. And this anomalous expansion of water is very helpful. Okay, now we will see anomalous expansion of water. Children, the expansion of water when it is cooled from 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius is known as anomalous expansion of water. So see here, I have drawn the graph in changing of volume and density between the range from 0 to 10 degrees Celsius. So see, the first volume of 1 gram of water in cubic centimeter is denoted on y-axis, and temperature in degrees Celsius is denoted on x-axis. Okay. You can see that when the temperature is increased from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius, volume is decreasing. Can you see from the graph? From 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius, that means the temperature of water is increasing, but volume is decreasing. And if the temperature is increased from 4, then again volume is started increasing. It means at 4 degrees Celsius, the volume of water is minimum. Okay. This is the anomalous expansion of water, and from the graph you are finding that if temperature is increased from 0 to 4 degrees Celsius, at that time the volume of water is decreasing. At 4 degrees Celsius it is the minimum, and then again if temperature is increased more than 4, then again the volume is started increasing. Okay, now after this, till 100 degrees Celsius, the volume will increase. Now see the density. Density of water in gram per cubic centimeter is denoted on y-axis, and temperature on x-axis. So we are watching that when the temperature is increased from 0 to 4 degrees Celsius, the temperature is increased from 0 to 4 degrees Celsius, the density of water is increasing. Can you see the graph? The graph is going in upward direction. That means the density is increasing, and at 4 degrees Celsius the density is maximum. The density of water is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. Again, if temperature is increased, then the value of density is decreasing because the graph is going downward. That means at 4 degrees Celsius, the density of water is maximum. Okay. These two are the graphs related to change in volume and density of water between the range of 0 degrees Celsius to 10 degrees Celsius. Now for today this much is enough. In the next class we will start from Hope experiment and other topics. Okay, bye bye.